Hello and welcome everyone. How is everyone doing today? I'd love to know in the chat how you're feeling out of 10. Is this your first session of the day, second, third? Let us know in the chat. I'm Isabel. I'm a member of the Women in Tech Regatta team, and you're very welcome to how software can enable greater accessibility and equity with ServiceNow. So for those of you who are new to the Regatta, although I'm sure you've heard this already before, it was founded by Melody Behringer to connect women in tech to mentors, peers, and resources to strengthen our community, advance your career, and to learn more from one another. And while we're here to elevate women in tech, we also believe that tech is for everyone, and that goes beyond gender here. So this is the 5th year that we're doing this in Seattle. It's also been happening in Vancouver and Amsterdam. And we're hoping next year that we will be in person and we won't be virtual. So I'll be adding some various housekeeping disclaimers into the chat. But without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to your two moderators today. We've got Shri and Manisha. Shri is the engineering manager and Manisha is the director of the innovation office. So over to you.
Thank you, Isabel. I'm going to share my screen. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time this afternoon to join us and to know more about ServiceNow. Today, I'm joined by my very talented co-speaker, Manisha Arora. We'll be talking about how software can enable greater accessibility and equity. Quick look at our agenda here. We'll talk about our values as company, things we are passionate about, our platform, and working in this hybrid environment. You'll also hear some real-time customer and partner use cases and get to meet a few of our ServiceNow colleagues. Here at ServiceNow, we're working towards building a unique company, one that requires one-of-a-kind culture to make the wheels turn. What we do is constantly changing as we innovate new ways to make the world of work better for people, but how we do it revolves around few beliefs that are critical to us. To growing as a company, creating a place where our people grow personally and professionally. So win as a team. We understand the advantages here at ServiceNow. We understand the advantages in collaborating, but we value and respect teamwork and work as single entity. This is shown both in decisions and initiatives we take on every day. Innovate and execute. We are innovating and executing on every day. We believe success and both success and failures are all part of the mix, but it's only through doing and learning from our failures that we build a great enduring company. Deliver customer success. What does customer success mean to us? This is never about just revenue. We are dedicated to doing the right thing by our customers and each other. Needless to say, we are only successful when our customers are. So stay hungry and humble. Though we are really proud of all our achievements, we always see room for improvement in our products, in our teamwork, how we help our customers. We're always inspired by their feedback. Embrace diversity and create belonging. This is close to my heart. I was born in India. I was in India for half my life and in US for the rest. So diverse and inclusive environments is where everyone feels like they belong. Diverse and inclusive teams innovate more, enjoy themselves more, create more value, adds a little bit of spice. You will hear more about this in upcoming slides. Last but not least, enjoy the journey. We are on an amazing journey to define the future of the work. we, of course, want to make sure we have some fun along the way while doing it. Diverse and inclusive and belonging, right? Want to take some time to talk about these and what it means to us. Work is where we really spend 2/3 or a third of our lives, and far more now. So it is important that work should be fulfilling, both fulfilling and purposeful. At ServiceNow, we feel this is in our bones. Everything we do at ServiceNow is more about unlocking that potential in workplaces around the world and also within our company. When you're more yourself, when you're more you at work, you thrive. And so does ServiceNow. We believe diversity and inclusive are table stakes. Belonging is the breakthrough. Diversity, inclusive, and belonging are essential to who we are, how we grow, and how we innovate. We can achieve great things when we know we can show up without judgment and be our true self here. And when our communities know that, we take a stand and advocate for what's right, they realize that together we are much stronger. At ServiceNow, we see our community as an opportunity to build awareness, increase empathy outside our normal comfort zones. When we can make connections and bond with others over successes and challenges, we reveal our vulnerability and humanity. Without even knowing it, we invite others in to learn, grow, and share themselves. Together, we find mutual support, create development opportunities, and advocate for each other. Some ways we do this is by celebrating cultural events like Diwali, Cinco de Mayo, and we do this by being inclusive, sending employee voice surveys, sponsoring diversity events, or just some and few of the things that we do. We have employee resource groups like Black at Now, Veterans at Now, Women at Now, LGBT plus at Now, to name a few. We strive for a fair system of opportunity and treatment for all. I'm proud to say in US, where we have pay data by gender, race, ethnicity, we've achieved pay equality for women and underrepresented group within our company. Globally, we have where we have pay data for gender, we are within 1 penny of pay equity for women around the world. Now that we talked about why we love working for ServiceNow, why I love working for ServiceNow, also, I want to take some time to talk about ServiceNow platform and what we deliver to our customers. ServiceNow is a strategic platform for any digital workflow that creates great experiences and unlocks productivity. Our Now platform excels at digitizing this work that flows throughout a company or across several functions in a unified experience. That's why we call Now platform the platform of platforms for business solutions and all workflows. One of our platform On top of our platform, we offer best-in-class, out-of-the-box workflows for IT, employees, customers, and creators that orchestrate work across enterprise and that are unique to each industry. Imagine that you have a simple request, like you need a new laptop. You will need an approval, maybe from your manager, need a request submitted for your IT department, and maybe needs another approval from budgeting, and so on. You understand. One of the challenges in most modern enterprises, work can be unstructured and happening in disparate systems of record. These departments have their own data and system of records that are stored on various legacy technologies. But work happens in silos, lowering productivity and user experience. because individually they do not support how work flows across your enterprise. And replacing core systems is an expensive and can be a lengthy process. ServiceNow platform excels at digitizing work that flows throughout a company or across several functions in a unified experience. That's why we call the Now platform of platforms for business solutions and all our workflows. Our unique differentiation is in providing you with one platform which shares one data model, one architecture, as well as many built in powerful capabilities, such as the ability to easily build cross enterprise workflows, single data model, enterprise service management, machine learning, AI, and predictive analytics, native mobile and conversational interfaces, and a set of no code, low code development tools for you to be able to build your own apps. ServiceNow connects organizations, creating a seamless enterprise system of action that integrates silos and systems, enables great employee and customer experiences, increases business agility, and in turn unlocks productivity. On top of our platform, we offer best in class, out of box workflows for IT, employees, and customers that orchestrate work across enterprise and are unique to each industry. These solutions were all developed organically, 100% native to our platform. And we offer the same exact platform for you to build your own no code, low code apps with App Engine to deliver enterprise workflows and solutions and also to other business solutions. Our partners are also building apps on the same Now platform, providing an even greater selection of ready to use workflows for your business. And lastly, all of your existing omni-channel experiences will have out-of-box integration into ServiceNow from mobile and web to conventional collaboration and productivity tools such as Slack, Microsoft Teams, and so on. So you can deliver great experiences to your employees, customers, and partners through the interfaces that they already love. With that, I'll hand it over to Manisha.
All right, thanks, Sri. So as we think about the workflows that Sri described that transcend individual people and departments to connect the enterprise, let's think a little bit about what we can do with technology to make the workplace more equitable. Our position here at ServiceNow is that you should not have to design specific applications and services that address diversity and inclusion. Like there should be no app called Diversity App at your company. Instead, diversity inclusion should be an undercurrent in all of our systems and processes. We call this diversity inclusion by design. So let's explore some of the current technology trends that can be incorporated when we design and update our enterprise systems and processes to truly embed equity into our work lives. ServiceNow and our partners have offerings in all these areas that I'll talk about. Plus, there are a myriad of great companies out there that do this type of work as well. So let's dig in. All right. First, let's talk about those unstructured and undocumented processes that Sri was talking about. Using technology like process mining, we can start to put to paper how work is actually getting done at our companies in a systematic way. So instead of relying on people to say, okay, I think I take work and I give it to someone else over here and then I think it goes here, we can use technology like process mining to spider our systems and see where work is happening. Once we understand how work is being passed around the company, we can use machine learning as well as human-driven analysis to identify points of bias in processes. For example, we can look for geographic or location-based bias in how we do hiring or from where we buy supplies. Once we understand our processes, we can use automation and artificial intelligence, perhaps even some virtual agents, to remove manual and repetitive tasks. Oftentimes, these tasks are relegated to more women and minorities, as well as new and career talent who are looking to move up. Spending more time on those kind of tasks takes away from your ability to do more value add and visible work. One of the best pieces of advice that I got when I first started my career as an intern was not to become the team's official note taker. Instead, my mentor showed me how to use OneNote to capture voice recording of meetings. Years later, today, Zoom kind of automatically allows for audio transcription. Not taking notes at every single meeting allowed me to speak up more, be part of the decision-making process, and not having to spend all evening writing up notes and making them pretty. I could actually take on stretch assignments that gave me more visibility to executives and other people at the company. Almost everyone has a story about being passed up from a promotion or a new job that was instead given to someone who perhaps did less work or was better at networking. As more of our business processes are digitized via workflows, employees can be more fairly evaluated. For example, especially as more call center employees are working remotely now, a call center manager can use quantitative data tracked in ServiceNow's customer service workflow to fairly assess which agents have the best customer satisfaction, shortest time to resolve issues, and which agents are mentoring and guiding others by contributing to the knowledge base. That's that third bucket there. And lastly, as some people return to the offices and some don't, my prediction is that we're going to see more women and underrepresented minorities finding themselves later, coming into the office later or working remote longer due to expectations of responsibilities outside of the workplace. I've been a remote employee for 4 years, and I've been part of a hybrid team for years. So it's been an interesting journey on learning how to be visible, vocal, and move my career forward when competing with people who are in the office day in, day out, getting to talk at the water cooler. Properly training teams and employees to create a culture of inclusivity in a hybrid work world is going to be an interesting challenge for us all for years to come. Really training people how to use collaboration tools effectively, so people working over Zoom or Teams are included in the decision-making process, get visibility to the people who conduct their evaluations, and in general, are used well to promote camaraderie, will go a long way into retaining high-performing talent from all people groups. So let's take a peek at some of ServiceNow's customers and internal teams that are putting these technologies to good use. The first example I have is from the Toronto District School Board. They're using the ServiceNow platform to more transparently handle incidents that they're hearing of race and bias. So as people want to file inquiries for race, bias, and hate incidents, it was all tracked on paper before, and it was difficult to get a real picture of how the district was doing year over year, which schools needed help. So by bringing all this data and the process into the ServiceNow platform, school administrators as well as the district board can be held accountable and ask for additional help as needed. The next example is from Cal Poly Pomona, their school, who is using the ServiceNow platform to really help its diverse student base have the same access to administrative services, no matter what their situation. So by making it easier to resolve issues, administrators are able to build real relationships with their students, which improves student outcomes and retention rates. With that diverse student base, having a unified record of all these interactions between the student and the administration gives the team a chance to reach out to students who might need a little extra support due to their life circumstances. One of the examples they gave is if a student misses a payment or fails to register for class, they'll get a notification and an administrator can reach out and really help them get what they need. Next slide. All right, internally at ServiceNow, we're building our own systems with diversity and inclusion in mind. Both of these examples here are employee-built apps that were not built specifically to address diversity, but because of their thoughtful design and a deep understanding of our user base, they made the workplace more equitable. So in order to make our hiring process for solution consultants more equitable, a team of employees built an app that lets hiring managers and interviewers give the same exact experience to every candidate applying to their role. And this takes a lot of bias out of the system. The interviewees are asked the same exact set of questions. They're given the same exact demo instance on which to do their demo. And the app gives the hiring managers transparency in the interview feedback, which is no longer just passed around an email. Removing these points of bias from the system has let us be more fair in our hiring of solution consultants. One of my colleagues, Barb Rotondo, and her team built an amazing mentoring app that pairs senior and more tenured employees with junior and new employees. Again, diversity and inclusion wasn't the original goal or purpose of the app, but by using this well-designed app, the team found that they were able to track and measure metrics that ensure employees from all people groups are getting the same visibility and support. And the app is so successful, it's now being used by multiple teams at ServiceNow. So let's talk a little bit now about how you can get involved. These problems, although systematic, have ways that we can all get involved and do things to help. So first, we can start by documenting processes within our organization. I talked about using process mining. I talked about some of the ways that we can look at how work is being done at the company. So start documenting within your organization and looking for places where there might be bias in your processes. You can also look for places where there's that manual repetitive work and what can be automated and free up your key talent to focus on these other value-added employees and grow their careers, value-added activities and grow their careers. We can build low-code and no-code apps and automate workflows to bring teams together and to improve our customer and employee experiences. No longer do you have to be a coder to automate workflows. With the rise of no-code, low-code platforms, anybody can go and start digitizing their work and making their own lives at work better. We can also advocate for the use of metrics-based evaluation and of processes and employees. So we can go and talk to our managers and our managers' managers about putting in metrics and using continual service improvement to make sure that our processes are getting better over time and that our employees are being measured and evaluated fairly. And lastly, we can lead by example when we create an inclusive hybrid work culture. So as we look at those collaboration applications like Zoom and Teams and Slack and all of these things, how do we make sure that we are giving the voice to the people who are just a face on Zoom instead of in the office? How do we make sure that they're part of the official and unofficial decision-making processes? And what can we do to make sure that everyone has a good experience when they come to work? All right. So now I am going to hand it over to my wonderful colleagues here in the ServiceNow Kirkland office. And we're going to talk with some of the folks that we work with to see what they do at ServiceNow and how they like it. Let's start with Ritika. I will hand the ball to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ritika. I'm an engineer here in the CMDB engineering team, part of which is based in ServiceNow's Kirkland office. I joined ServiceNow back in 2015, so almost touching 6 years now in May. So my time here at ServiceNow has been amazing. I got the opportunity to work on a bunch of different products which were getting bootstrapped from ground up. So as an engineer, that's a fantastic opportunity for you to hone your skills, learn amazing new technologies, and also, there's a thrill in building something from ground up and presenting it to your customers, which actually solves their problems, right? So ServiceNow has given me that opportunity multiple times. So that's been a fantastic experience from my perspective. And also the people here at ServiceNow are amazing. Like I've worked with some fantastic product managers, some fantastic fellow engineers, and that's been probably the best part of my time here at ServiceNow. So yeah, a little bit about myself and my time here at ServiceNow, and please feel free to ping me if anybody has any questions I can answer.
Thank you, Ritika. Next, we have Amila Juan.
Yeah, Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Amelia Kwan, and I am a services executive that's part of the Customer Outcomes Group. I've been at ServiceNow for a little bit over a year right now, but I just wanted to just share a story, and I think it's really a story of how I got to ServiceNow. So I was in the Bay Area, lived there for 18 years, and then I moved to Seattle area, and I was looking for a job. I was looking for new opportunities. I wanted to just expand, my portfolio, take on a new challenge. And I was following ServiceNow for many, many years. And the company previously that I worked at, every customer that I spoke with, everyone kept talking about ServiceNow, ServiceNow. I was just like, wow, this is a hot company. Like, I have to do some digging, So I started looking at the jobs, and I didn't find anything that was suitable to me. I've been in the tech world for 20 years, always been in the customer facing role, doing customer success, really helping strategically, drive business outcomes, customer success. We sell these licenses. How do we help customers embrace the change and, adopt the platform? But there was no roles in that. The closest thing that I found was this thing called services executive. And in my mind, working for other companies like Microsoft and Salesforce and startups, they have services organization. And typically those roles were middle-aged white men. So when I looked at it, I looked at the job description, I was like, there are some things here. It's all about driving customer outcomes. I have that experience. I've never done sales before, but I've been told I should be in sales. And anyways, I applied for it. I got a call from a recruiter and went through the interview and gone into Kirkland office, did a panel interview, did a presentation, and long and behold, I didn't get the job. 3 months later, because I stayed connected with the hiring manager on LinkedIn. He messaged me and say, "Hey, are you still looking for a job? We have a role for you." And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." I took that opportunity. I said, I was obviously given the opportunity. I'm so grateful for it. They took a chance. ServiceNow took a chance on me, and I'm so eternally grateful for it. And in my role, I work with customers, right? It's a customer facing role. It's sales. And when I got hired on onboarding, doing this job, it was all done over Zoom. And when you're in a customer facing role and when you're selling, you're all about building relationships, building trust, building that rapport and being on site with people. And I never got a chance, but it is crazy how technology really brings people together, right? And it's hard to read people when they don't turn on the videos, but when they do, it's like, you can kind of build that rapport. It's definitely not impossible. So I love ServiceNow. I love the diversity, truly the diversity and the background here. There's people all across the globe, and I'm learning from everybody. Every day I come to work, I'm super challenged, and every day there's new problems to solve. So anyways, if you have any questions, we have definitely hiring across in the customer outcomes organization role. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to speak with you anytime.
Thank you, Amelia. That's a wonderful story. Next, we have Bharat Ranjan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bharat Ranjan. I run the global networking team here at ServiceNow. My story of ServiceNow is very unique. I've been here 9.5 years, and I got here when we were a small, just coming out of startup and going into what was now a big company. And it was interesting because I got hired as like the 4th employee in the Kirkland office. So 4 of us used to sit in the corner of this massive office trying to figure out what we'd gotten ourselves into. Because a lot of us came from big companies where everything's structured. And in the early days of ServiceNow, it was very unstructured. So it was an incredible challenge going from something that basic and that non-structured, right? So what had happened was over the early days, people had just strung together a lot of things. And once they started signing up customers, it's like, hey, we have to scale this and we're going to be a global company. So how do we do that in 2 weeks? So it was an interesting challenge, and many months later, we finally got to where we wanted to be. So the first thing that really I love about ServiceNow is the incredible impact you can make on technology, and it's applied to real world stuff. people call you up and say, hey, I ordered my, I set up my vaccine appointment because of ServiceNow. I got my laptop at work because of ServiceNow. My kid made his, soccer thing because of ServiceNow. So a lot of the things we do, while it could be infrastructure and not customer facing, we still get to see all these happy stories of people using our platform. And so the technology part of it is very challenging and interesting because it's at scale, and it's also very global. We're in 25 countries as far as having data centers, and what makes that even more interesting is the people we work with. Every day, I work with an incredibly diverse group of people. And not only in the US, obviously, but in about 60 different countries. Today, I had a call with someone in Amsterdam, Tokyo. Tonight, I have a call with somebody in India and Seoul. So every day, I'm talking to somebody in a different culture with a different perspective and different even work ethics. But because we're all part of the same team and because we all work together on this vision, we all get it done, even though we approach it from completely different social and personal perspectives. So those two things make my life here very, very fun and engaged, which is the technology and then the diversity of the people I work with.
Thank you, Bharat. Next, we have Lei Ting.
Hello, my name is Lei Ting Tardif. Most of my colleagues know me as LT, or you can call me Lei Ting. I've been with ServiceNow coming to 4 years now and based out of the Kirkland office. When I first joined ServiceNow, I was a CRM support specialist, mainly focused on the business workflow in sales operations. Then a year ago, I transitioned to my current position as the sales business analyst in the commissions team. In this new role, I built upon my existing experiences and also exemplify my professional growth to delve into data analytics and reporting, as well as strategic blend design. As part of the strategy and planning business group, our goal is to help build the most productive, cohesive, and customer-friendly go-to-market engine in the tech industry. I wake up every morning for work, excited that I play a pertinent role, envisioning the blueprint for our customers, our company's go-to-market success. My career journey has been an interesting ride so far. I'm very fortunate and grateful I'm working for an amazing company. It's not serendipitous that my professional aspirations assimilate to my company's motto, be hungry, be humble. There will always be ups and downs throughout our personal and professional journeys. I wouldn't have it any other way. In fact, I encourage these little bumps along the road. I'm just heartened I have the unfailing support and encouragement from my family, my friends, my team, and my company. They have all helped me push through any challenges to succeed. Finally, I'd like to share a little personal anecdote. I have an 8-year-old doing remote learning during the pandemic. So we've a lot of little intimate discussions, arguments about making mistakes. Oftentimes she's in tears along when she gets into these little hiccups. What I try to work into our conversation is to always say to her, just enjoy the failures. And I wouldn't even call it failures because those are what makes life interesting and is what builds you, your character, your experience, your life. So to all of you, have fun, have a blast wherever you may be now. And I hope my story will play a small part in your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, LT. I agree with you. Just failures are little stepping stones and you can just enjoy the ride with it. Thank you for that. Manisha?
All right. Well, I think you've heard for everyone. Come join us. We have a lot of current open opportunities, both on the engineering technical side as well as in all the other parts of the company. We've listed some jobs that are open here, but if you go to our career site, you could see more. But check it out. It's a wonderful place to work. And I think, like I said, we can all attest to that. And thank you so much for joining us and hearing what we had to say. And thank you to my co-presenters. You guys rock.
Likewise. Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for us? Please feel free to use the chat, or I think you can either unmute yourself or use the raise hand function, and we're happy to chat.
I just want to say one thing as a follow-up. If you do apply to any of the roles that we have available, if you select the source, please give credit to Women in Tech. We want to know that if you apply from something, you did hear it first here. So that would be a help to us.
We have a question on the chat.
We have a question. Can you describe the digital solutions position?
Is that one of the jobs listed?
I think so.
Okay, quick peek. Hey, does any of the recruiters know anything about the last two jobs that were posted on that slide?
Actually, don't have a lot of details on that. So each of us recruiters handle a certain amount of recs. And so that's not one of the recs I'm actually supporting. But if you want to contact me separately or on LinkedIn, I can connect you with the recruiter who's partnering that, or try to get you some additional information on that. But it's best just for anybody who's interested in any positions, just to apply directly to them. And then the specific hiring team and recruiter will review your experience for a match with each position, and then you would be contacted as it makes sense. Hope that helps.
If you'd like to learn more about our IT operations management suite of product, you can go to our website, and there's some great position pieces that talk about what it is that part of the platform does, how it interacts with other parts of the platform, and some great customer case studies for how people are using it in real life.
And I just want to make a personal plug for our process. When I interviewed for the position here at ServiceNow, I was like, they told me, go online and apply. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be like 45 minutes of my time. I was so incredibly pleasantly surprised. It took me 5 minutes. Like, it just like my name, my email, I uploaded my resume, boom, it was done. And the entire process was so easy. They got me into interviews right away, I did the same thing with like an interview panel, the presentation. The team was very responsive. Like, my coordinator got my interviews done like really quickly. Everything went so smoothly. I had never had such a great interviewing experience, and I've worked for other companies. So if you're thinking it's going to take you a lot of time, that's where our workflows work really well for us. So just a little plug there.
You've got another question in the chat there from Tiffany.
Do we offer spring internships? Hi, Tiffany. We do offer internships, but they are summer internships, starting mostly from June, ending till end of August, sometimes first week of September. So no for spring internships, but yes for internships in general. That is something we take very seriously, and we like to invite young talent, and we work with different events during their 2 months that they are working with us during the summer. Yes.
You should be able to unmute yourself if you do have a question. You can pop your mic on and ask the team.
I just want to also say that there are beyond internship opportunities, there are other opportunities that ServiceNow offers. ServiceNow does offer what is called a next gen program, and it's a program where you can learn how to become certified. And with ServiceNow, you can do studying of different modules. And what that will do is you can go through the entire learning process. At the end of it, you can sit for a certification to get your certification, and then you can become certified in ServiceNow if that is an area of interest for you. So that's an opportunity that's available to anyone. And that information can be found on our website. And thank you for putting the link in the chat.
While we wait for maybe another question to come in, something I've noticed that a lot of attendees I would like to know is obviously after job requirements are met, what's an ideal candidate look like for ServiceNow? Are there specific qualities you look for in a person? What other things can people try to emulate, or you know, what other things are you looking for other than the years of experience or the criteria for a job?
I'll take that. I would say not only just the job requirements, the hard skills, but also soft skills, and then aligning with our values is very important. So culture add and culture fit. So our values really shape who we are collectively as an organization. So anything that's around innovation and executing, we embrace diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Once you join a company, you definitely want to feel like you belong. Staying hungry and humble, all of our employees really embrace that. And then we all win as a team. Like as much of each of your role affords you autonomy and ownership of the role, we definitely know that we win as a team. So the values are very important to us as we interview folks.
And how would you measure them in an interview process? Or do you have do you have people take sort of like an aptitude thing beforehand, or how do you measure those with people?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have fair hiring practices. So every interview process is consistent for each candidate, and every process is different for each role. That really depends. Sometimes it's a technical role, you might go through a hacker rank. If it's a sales role, you're going to have a presentation. So whatever that process is, it'd be the same for every candidate. And we also want to ensure that you get to ask us questions. So as much as we're interviewing you, you're always interviewing us to make sure it's a fit from both sides.
Tiffany, great. Tiffany, you should be able to unmute yourself if you have another question.
Yeah. Hey everyone. Thanks for your time. I guess I'm just curious, like for people who are now like managing or like in the managerial positions, like how do you decide to make that switch from an IC, like individual contributor, to like becoming a manager, and like why did you decide to do so?
I wouldn't mind answering that. I absolutely love coaching people. One of my biggest passions is to see people move ahead. So I like to share whatever learnings I have. I think somebody mentioned this a little bit earlier, about failures. It's not, win or lose, it's win or learn. So I kind of take it from that angle. But for me, it was an easy decision in that I really wanted to, I felt like I had mastered my craft, and I wanted to pass that on to my team. And one of the things that I really like about ServiceNow is that I'm not the smartest person in the room. I absolutely love that about being here. I have amazing colleagues that I'm able to work with. If I have a question, if I have a doubt, if I'm struggling with something, I can just, call upon somebody and they're willing to help me. And I think that that's one of the greatest things, is that, you know, we're all have the same kind of mentality. We all kind of like roll up our sleeves, but we also, when somebody needs a little bit of help, we reach out. And I think that that's one of the best things that I find about our organization. So for me, it was really about empowering others to do their best work. And that's why I really wanted to be in a management role.
Grizel, I'll double down on that. When I was a customer of ServiceNow, anytime we had a problem, all these people from ServiceNow would descend on our office and fix whatever it was that were needed. And I just kept looking at them. My ServiceNow account team is huge. And then I actually got here and I realized, okay, these are people from all over the company from all levels. So I'll double down on that part. And then echoing what you said about becoming a manager, became a manager about 2 years ago. And I was actually promoted to be the manager of my own team of peers after our previous manager left. And the thing I love most is kind of identifying everybody's strengths and really helping them grow those strengths and use those, so that the sum is definitely greater than the whole is definitely greater than the sum of its parts on our team. Everyone, I get to talk to everybody where they want to go, figure out how to give them opportunities to shine and to build their skills. And it's my job to give them air cover. So I want everyone to take risks. And I expect this of my manager as well. I want to take big risks. And as a manager, it's my job to give them air cover and unblock them and get out of their way. And I absolutely love that. And ServiceNow and our HR department make sure that managers have the support to do those things.
Any other questions for the ServiceNow team? Will you all be transitioning back into working in the office? I know that, Manish, you were saying you've been remote for the past 4 years now, but for those of you who were in the office, is that something that's, is there a date on that, or are you remote for the foreseeable future? And maybe what does that look like for maybe new hires as well, if they want to do remote?
Yeah, I can answer that. So really, ServiceNow will be transitioning to a primarily distributed work model that gives most employees a flexible work schedule. So right now we're extending the employees' choice to work from home through at least September 7th of 2021, while we slowly and safely reopen our offices in phases. So based on the local government guidance. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
And we're also, because we've been remote, I actually joined ServiceNow in the middle of a pandemic. So my onboarding was remote, and we did everything virtually. We, like I said, I got very good follow-up. I got emails. I knew exactly what I needed to do. Computer was shipped to me. Everything functioned pretty seamlessly. And I think probably the hardest thing was to learn all the different things, right? Because you come into a new environment and there's so many different places where you can get information and things like that. But that's anywhere, right? Anytime you start at a new position, a new job, you have to learn the environment and the landscape and figure out where you get your information, that sort of thing. But as far as the onboarding and the process, it was fairly simple.
I'll second that, Grizel, because I also joined just in the January timeframe and did all my onboarding remotely as well. And I have to say, for the recruiting side, because that's the side I'm on, it was a very streamlined process, very easy to find, the data. And then all of my colleagues, my teammates, they're really there to support us. Lots of knowledge sharing, open collaborative environment. So it was very streamlined for us as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Any other questions before we wrap up for the afternoon? don't think so. Well, thank you so much. We do tend to do a sort of after party. If anyone wanted to ask their question, maybe in a more informal environment, we turn the recording off. So if that's the case, stick around for another few minutes. But thank you so much to the ServiceNow team for taking this time and giving us a brilliant presentation on your company. So we'll leave that as the sort of the formal closing of the ServiceNow Job Expo. So thank you so much.